Hi, everyone. Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to Doug for bringing me down here from Vancouver to talk to you all. I'm here to speak about a profound new breed of transformational festivals that has evolved over the past 15 years and is an international phenomenon, and in particular has found fertile ground on the west coast of the US and Canada. Burning Man, Earth Dance, Beloved, Symbiosis, Lightning in a Bottle, Sonic Bloom, Dreamtime Festival, Entheos, Diversity, Bass Coast, and many more. These festivals are playing a meaningful and transformational role in hundreds of thousands of people's lives and are creating models that I've come to believe, have a significant offering to our culture beyond those who are directly involved with it. So just to spend a few minutes to trace the lineage of how these evolved, for those who may not be directly familiar with it already. Elements of these festivals should be recognizable to everyone in this audience in that they are overall associated with electronic dance music and have their roots in an earlier development of rave culture. So it's worthwhile taking a moment to note the consistent power of music to create new culture. So here's a little quick example of, in the post-war era, distinct subcultures or countercultures that have coalesced around forms of music. So in our case, with electronic dance music, it really was born with these new digital tools for creating music that started becoming increasingly accessible in the 1980s and have continued on from there. So whereas rock and roll really broke the Puritan chokehold on culture and sparked the countercultural explosion of the 60s and 70s, what rave and electronic dance music represented was the full return of the ecstatic tradition into Western culture. And so it has spread worldwide, and 20 years on, it continues to flourish in nightclubs, warehouses, collective spaces, venues of all kinds, lounges, beaches, and so on. And in many ways, it's become really mainstream. It's been embraced by many pop artists, car commercials, ruining your favorite songs. What was special was that it found its way to the outdoors. So we have so many powerful places of nature that many people still feel very connected to. So rave came to the West Coast, found the outdoors, and then mixed with many of the progressive streams and traditions that were already established here. One of the earliest tribal collectives that brought forth this new type of culture is the Moon Tribe of Los Angeles. So they were among the first. They would drive hours deep into the Mojave Desert to these isolated, epic, and truly primordial locations where, to the soundtrack of their particular brand of desert trance, they found this archaic and ancient kind of freedom. And so this was really part of the birth of this tribal meme. Something very potent had been discovered in dancing through the night and into the dawn in these powerful spots in nature and in the earth, as part of the earth. And these were aligned and timed with full moons, solstices, equinoxes, so synchronized with these earthly and cosmic cycles. And they were often honored with circles, with some kind of ceremony, some kind of recognition of the sacred experience that was happening in this dance. And so in this way, it's been part of this reconnection to the earth, this restoring of a relationship that has been lost for many generations of our culture. when we do some research, we actually find that this way of being is in fact ubiquitous in human history. It's very much a part of our ancestry. An ethnographic study that was done in 1962 found that 92% of small-scale societies that were surveyed encouraged some kind of ecstatic trance among their members, usually through prolonged chanting or dancing. And some have suggested, like sociologist Emil Durkheim, that these ecstatic trances are the very roots of religion itself. So, in this authentically modern way, as urban technological humans, we had stumbled back upon one of the most ancient of tribal rituals. And it was in this potent merging of this futuristic, digital, techno, sci-fi, and galactic with the archaic, ancient, tribal, primordial, mythic. So over the past 15 years, this has now evolved into transformational festivals, which are actual whole realities that last for typically 3 or 4 days to a week at a time. And in these realities, we find usually multiple epic stages and dance floors and music lineups. We find full workshop curriculums investigating and offering the gamut of interests in the new paradigm. And we see art everywhere. From epic art installations to its very own art movement, visionary art, which is very much integrated and intertwined with the festival culture. We see live painting as part of the activities on stage, as part of the performance, the creation of art. And we've also, of course, I think we've all witnessed the emergence of the fire arts, another archaic form, combined with many different types of varieties of performance. And these are also massive social economies in the market. You see artisans, clothes makers, food vendors. And then there's all this participant-driven content infused into it as well, in the costuming, in the creation of zones and domes and lounges, theme camps. And at the same time, we also see this spiritual rediscovery and awakening in a new way. Typically, a third of the participants at these festivals or more are active co-creators. So in these temporary autonomous zones, we're able to create and live in the world we would want to exist in. And these are models of compatible diversity, where there's this massive, diverse range of expression that is able to coexist in this safe, respectful container. So the lessons learned don't fade with the hangover. They are there to be integrated for us to practice and to bring up our baseline. And the festivals are there for us to return to reconnect with that core of our own and each other's highest being. So in this way, transformational festivals have and are playing a profound role in hundreds of thousands of people's lives.